The person you love told their brother everything about you tonight. And you need to know what their brother said. My beloved child, tonight is not an ordinary night. While the world was asleep, the person you love finally gathered the courage to tell their brother everything about you. Every hidden feeling, every silent memory, every unanswered question was spoken aloud for the very first time. But what happened next was something nobody expected. Their brother stayed completely silent for a few moments, then looked directly into their eyes with an expression that changed the entire conversation. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the words that came next may completely change the way you see this story. For a long time, the person you love carried these emotions alone, afraid that nobody would truly understand. But tonight, they decided they could not keep pretending anymore. As they described your kindness, your presence, and the strange connection they believe exists between you, their brother listened more carefully than ever before. Then, without hesitation, their brother asked one unexpected question that made the entire room fall silent. The person you love could not answer immediately, because deep inside, they realized the question exposed a truth they had been hiding even from themselves. At that very moment, everything began to shift in a direction no one could have predicted. Just when it seemed the conversation was about to end, their brother slowly smiled and leaned forward as if he had already figured out a secret that everyone else had missed. The next sentence was so surprising that it left the person you love completely speechless, and what they heard filled their heart with emotions they never expected to feel tonight. But those powerful words are only the beginning, because what their brother reveals next is even more unbelievable than anyone could imagine. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. But the conversation did not stop there. The brother took a deep breath and said, "If everything you've told me is true, then this is not an ordinary connection." Those words echoed through the room, leaving the person you love completely stunned. They had expected questions, doubt, or even laughter, but instead, they were met with calm confidence. In that moment, they realized someone else could finally see what they had been feeling all along. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Without looking away, the brother began pointing out little moments the person you love had never noticed before. He spoke about the way their face changed whenever your name was mentioned, the excitement they tried so hard to hide, and the hope that quietly appeared every single time they thought about you. The person you love couldn't deny any of it. Every memory suddenly connected like pieces of a puzzle, and they understood that their feelings had become impossible to hide. Yet the brother wasn't finished. He said there was one final reason he believed this story was far more important than anyone realized. The room became silent once again as the brother prepared to reveal the one observation that had convinced him beyond all doubt. The person you love felt their heartbeat racing, knowing whatever came next could change everything they believed about this connection. They leaned forward, waiting for the answer they had never expected to hear. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The next words will reveal why tonight became unforgettable. Then came the moment nobody was prepared for. The brother looked straight at the person you love and quietly said, "You keep searching for signs, but the biggest sign has been right in front of you this whole time." Those words froze the room. The person you love replayed countless memories in their mind, suddenly realizing that the smallest moments carried the deepest meaning. What once seemed like coincidence now felt impossible to ignore. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. For several moments, neither of them spoke. The silence itself felt louder than any conversation. Then the brother continued, explaining that real connections are not built by perfect timing, they are revealed through consistent thoughts, quiet hope, and the courage to keep believing when nothing seems certain. The person you love lowered their head, remembering every time they tried to convince themselves to move on, only to find their heart leading them back to you again. That realization became impossible to escape. Just as they thought the conversation had reached its end, the brother smiled and whispered one final sentence that completely changed the atmosphere. There is still one truth you haven't discovered about this connection, and when you do, nothing will ever feel the same again. The person you love looked up in complete surprise, knowing another revelation was about to unfold. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. What happened a few seconds later changed everything. The brother slowly stood up and said, "If your heart has remained this certain for so long, then you owe yourself the courage to stop doubting it." Those simple words carried unexpected weight. The person you love had spent so much time questioning every feeling that they had forgotten to trust what had been quietly growing inside them all along. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The brother then shared something no one else had ever noticed. He reminded the person you love of every time your name appeared in ordinary conversations, every smile that arrived without warning, and every hopeful expression that could never be hidden. Suddenly, those forgotten moments became impossible to ignore. It was as if a picture that had been blurry for so long had finally come into perfect focus. The person you love realized that this story had been unfolding long before tonight, they simply hadn't recognized it. Just when they believed there was nothing more to reveal, the brother reached into a drawer and brought out something that made the person you love completely speechless. "I've been waiting for the right moment to show you this," he said with a quiet smile. The room fell silent again as they reached out to see what it was, knowing that whatever came next could answer questions they had carried for far too long. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. No one could have guessed what was inside. The person you love slowly reached for it, expecting something ordinary. But the moment they saw it, they stopped breathing for a second. It wasn't valuable because of what it was valuable because of what it reminded them of. The brother quietly said, "I kept this because I had a feeling one day it would finally make sense." Those words sent chills through the room. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As the memories came rushing back, the person you love realized that so many small moments had been connected all along. Every coincidence, every unexpected encounter, every reason they couldn't forget you suddenly formed one complete picture. The brother watched silently before saying, "Some people enter your life for a season, but others leave signs everywhere they go." Hearing that changed the way the person you love looked at the past. What once felt confusing now felt meaningful. Then, Just as the emotion settled, the brother smiled in a way that made the entire atmosphere shift again. "There's still one thing I haven't told you," he whispered. "It's the biggest reason I believe this story isn't over." The person you love looked at him with complete disbelief, knowing another revelation was only moments away. "Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you." Just when the silence felt complete, the brother finally revealed the truth he had been holding back. He looked at the person you love and quietly said, "I noticed the change in you long before you ever spoke about it." Those words struck deeply. The person you love realized they had never truly hidden their feelings at all. Every smile, every thoughtful pause, every hopeful glance had already told a story that no words were needed to explain. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The brother continued, "The strongest connections don't ask for attention. They reveal themselves through patience." Hearing that, the person you love closed their eyes for a moment, remembering all the times they almost gave up, only to find their heart returning to the same place. It suddenly became clear that this wasn't about one conversation or one evening. It was about a journey that had been unfolding quietly, step by step, without either of you fully realizing it. Then, with complete confidence, the brother shared one final thought before leaving the room. "Tomorrow may bring something you never expected, but tonight gave you the answer you were searching for." Those words echoed in the silence, leaving the person you love standing there with a heart full of hope and a mind full of questions. But the greatest revelation had not yet been spoken, and what happens next could become the most unforgettable moment of this entire story. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Before the night could finally come to an end, one last conversation began. The person you love stopped their brother and quietly asked, "If you were in my place, what would you do?" The question hung in the air for a few long seconds. Instead of answering immediately, the brother smiled with surprising confidence, as though he had already known this question was coming. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The brother finally replied, "I would stop being afraid of what might happen and start appreciating what already exists." Those words landed straight in the heart of the person you love. For the first time in a long while, they weren't thinking about fear or uncertainty. They were thinking about every meaningful memory connected to you. The brother continued, "Some people spend their entire lives waiting for certainty, but real connections grow because someone chooses courage first." Hearing those words brought a quiet sense of peace they had never felt before. As the brother walked toward the door, he suddenly paused and turned back one final time. With a calm voice, he said, "There's one detail I haven't shared yet, and when you hear it, you'll understand why tonight happened exactly the way it did." The person you love stood completely still, knowing the next revelation could answer the biggest question they had been carrying in their heart. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Then the brother turned around one final time. His expression became more serious than at any other moment that night. He quietly said, "There is one reason I never interrupted your story." The person you love looked at him in surprise, waiting for an answer that suddenly felt more important than anything else they had heard. The silence stretched for a few seconds before he finally continued. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. I wasn't listening to judge you, the brother said. I was listening to understand whether your heart was speaking honestly. Those words hit deeply. The person you love realized that every question, every pause, and every quiet smile from their brother had been leading to this moment. Then he added, and after hearing everything tonight, I can see that your feelings have never been about confusion. They've always been about hope. A wave of relief filled the room as those words settled into their heart. Just before walking away, the brother left behind one final mystery. He smiled and softly whispered, "Tomorrow, someone will say something that reminds you of everything we talked about tonight. When that moment comes, you'll finally understand why this conversation had to happen first." The person you love stood there without saying a word, realizing the story was still unfolding. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As the first light of morning began to appear, the person you love couldn't stop thinking about every word their brother had spoken. Sleep never came, because one question kept echoing in their mind: what is the final truth I still haven't seen? Every memory replayed itself, but this time every detail felt different. What once looked ordinary now seemed filled with meaning. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Just then, the brother quietly entered the room once more. He didn't say much. He simply smiled and asked, "After everything we talked about, what is your heart telling you now?" The person you love remained silent for a moment before admitting something they had never said out loud. "For the first time, I'm no longer afraid of what I feel." The brother nodded, as if that was the exact answer he had been waiting to hear all along. In that instant, doubt began to disappear, replaced by a quiet confidence that felt impossible to explain. Before leaving, the brother stopped at the doorway and delivered one final sentence that left the person you love completely speechless. The next chapter of this story won't begin because of chance, it will begin because someone finally chooses to believe. Those words stayed in the room long after he had gone. The person you love looked ahead with a hopeful heart, sensing that the most unforgettable moment of this journey was closer than ever before. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Hours later, something completely unexpected happened. The person you love found themselves thinking less about the conversation and more about one sentence their brother had repeated all night: "Some answers arrive only when you're finally ready to hear them." Those words refused to leave their mind. Every step they took that day reminded them that the story wasn't ending, it was quietly moving toward its biggest turning point. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Later that evening, the brother met them again and asked only one question: "After everything you've realized, if the next opportunity appeared in front of you, would you recognize it?" The person you love smiled for the first time since the conversation began. Without hesitation, they replied, "Yes, because now I'm looking with my heart instead of my doubts." The brother's face lit up. He had been waiting to hear those exact words, because they proved that something important had already changed inside. As they prepared to leave, the brother quietly added one last thought that no one expected. The greatest surprise isn't what I've told you tonight. It's what you're about to discover very soon. The person you love stood there in complete silence, feeling that every moment had been leading to one unforgettable revelation still waiting ahead. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Just when it seemed there were no more surprises left, the brother reached into his pocket and unfolded a small piece of paper he had been carrying since the conversation began. He smiled and said, "I didn't bring this to convince you. I brought it because I knew there would come a moment when you would finally understand it." The person you love stared at it without speaking, feeling that this single moment carried more meaning than everything that had happened before. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Slowly, the brother handed it over and quietly added, "This isn't about the paper itself. It's about the promise hidden inside it." As those words settled in, the person you love realized the greatest change had never been outside, it had happened within their own heart. Every fear that once held them back was beginning to fade. The brother nodded with quiet confidence and said, "Now I know why your story never truly ended. It was only waiting for the right moment to continue." Before the conversation finally came to a close, the brother looked toward the window and whispered one unforgettable sentence. "The next time your paths come closer, you'll notice a sign that you would have completely missed before tonight." The person you love felt a calm excitement they had never experienced before, knowing the biggest chapter of this journey was still ahead. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Then came the final lesson of the night. The brother looked at the person you love with complete certainty and said, "After everything you've shared with me, I only have one thing left to say." The room became perfectly quiet. Every emotion, every memory, and every unanswered question seemed to pause at once. Then he smiled and whispered, "Never underestimate a connection that continues to bring hope instead of fear." Those words stayed in the air long after they were spoken. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The person you love slowly nodded, realizing that this conversation had never been about finding someone else's approval. It had been about discovering the courage to trust what their own heart had been trying to say for so long. The brother gently placed a hand on their shoulder and added, "No matter what tomorrow brings, never forget what you understood tonight." At that moment, every doubt that had once seemed so powerful became smaller than the hope growing inside them. As the night finally came to an end, the brother walked away with one last smile and quietly said, "Your story is only beginning, and the best chapter hasn't been written yet." The person you love watched him leave, carrying those words like a promise they would never forget. And somewhere deep inside, they knew this unforgettable conversation would stay with them forever. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. At last, everything became clear. The person you love stood alone, replaying every word their brother had shared throughout the night. What had started as a simple conversation had become a journey of understanding, courage, and hope. They smiled quietly, realizing the greatest revelation was never a shocking secret, it was the discovery that genuine feelings become stronger when they are finally spoken aloud. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As the sun began to rise, the brothers' final advice echoed once more: the future belongs to those who refuse to let fear write the ending. Those words filled the person you love with a new sense of peace. They no longer felt trapped by uncertainty. Instead, they felt ready to welcome whatever came next, believing that every meaningful connection grows through patience, honesty, and faith in the journey. The night had changed them in ways they never imagined. And so this chapter came to a close, but the story itself was far from over. Somewhere ahead, another unexpected moment was waiting, one that would make every conversation, every memory, and every lesson from this unforgettable night fall perfectly into place. Until then, hold this thought close to your heart: sometimes the most powerful answers arrive only after you've found the courage to listen. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. But one final surprise remained. Just as the person you loved believed the night had given every answer, their brother quietly called them back one last time. With a calm smile, he said, "There is something I didn't tell why."